Hi everyone, I'm hopeful that all you will be fine. In the last session, we have learned how we can get the permission list of a user. Okay, that means what user have what permissions on our Zoom account. Okay, so we are keep continuing with the Zoom users list API, and in this session, we are going to learn how we can actually get the list of schedulers. Okay, schedulers means let's suppose a user A is an assistant. Okay, so user A is an assistant for B2C users. Okay, for B2C users. So in this schedulers list, we are going to get the this B2Z list by using the ID of a user. Okay, so let's keep continuing. So for that, we first need to create a const variable. I first need to hide this floating controls, and then we first need to create a const helper here for the relative path. So we say scheduler, okay, and we need to pass the user ID as a parameter, okay, and we use a string interpolation. Here we say users, and we say user ID, and at the end we are going to set the schedulers. So this is the basically relative path where from we can get the schedulers. So inside the user ID, you can pass one of these values. You can pass any one value from this list. Okay, so either you can pass user unique ID, either you can pass email of that user. If you have a OAuth app, then you can pass me as a user ID. Okay, so then we just need to export this. So we say scheduler, and it need to format inside the Zoom users helper. We first need to import that, okay, helper for the relative path. So we say here scheduler. So C, and we say here scheduler. The bottom, we need to create a helper. So we say const schedulers and async, and we need to pass the user ID, okay. And here this API, if you if when you are going to access this relative path, or you are going to access the scheduler list, then you must be have a user read or user read admin scope in the bearer token. Okay, so let's start. And in this API, you have a medium rate limit. Medium rate limit means you can only send 20 requests per second if you have a pro plan, and if you have business plus plan, then you can send 60 requests per second. Okay, so let's first start to build the URI for the endpoint. So we say scheduler URI, and we use a string interpolation. Here we need to set the API base URI, and we are going to append the scheduler and just going to pass the user ID. Okay, and we are just going to bind the XUS so that we can request. So we say data and await, and we say XUS, and we say URL, and URL will be scheduler URI, and method will be get, and we just need to pass the headers. Okay, so we are just going to set the header from here and copy and paste, and then we just say then response. Okay, return the response, and at the bottom we just need to catch and say error, and return error, and need to place a semicolon, return data. Okay, need to format the code, place the breakpoint here and here, and inside the API we first need to import that helper. So we say here schedulers. I think we have not exported this helper, so we first need to import. We say schedulers, and then we now here we have a scheduler. So at the bottom we need to add the endpoint. So we say app get slash API slash Zoom, and we need to pass the user ID, and we say schedulers. And we say async, and we request response, bind the handler. So we say let's scheduler result, and we say await schedulers request.params.id, and we just need to return response.json and we say scheduler result. Okay, format, place a semicolon, need to run the API. So we say npm start, npm start, and navigate to the browser and just send the request. So we say localhost port 4000 slash API slash zoom, and we say users, either we directly pass here ID, and at the end we just need to set the schedulers. Enter, and we have got the error. So let's see what is the response. So it is meaning the user does not exist. Okay, so user does not exist. Let's see what is inside this user ID. So we can see here we do not have any user ID. So let's first place a breakpoint here. Okay, so here's not ID, it is user ID. Okay, sorry, so that's why we are getting user not defined error. Move this breakpoint, let's resend the request, and now wait. So we have successfully got the response with the status okay. And in this account I do not have uh, added as an assistant to any further user, so that's why I'm receiving scheduler 0. Okay, but if you are added as an scheduler or as an assistant, okay, in with the different other accounts inside your Zoom account, then you will get the response as an array. Inside you have some data. Okay, so hopefully you have enjoyed this session. If you have any query regarding this session, then just please place a comment on a video comment session. Either you can share your queries and suggestions via my shared contact details, either on an email, either on a WhatsApp. Hopefully we will get back with another session, and bye bye, take care.